All rise. Court is in session. Do you solemnly swear to check out this ACDI webinar and use the information to help your customer achieve their print management goal? Great. Please be seated. Hey now, hope you are as excited about this webinar as I am to present to you. Good day. I'm Doc Balgi, Technical Solutions Specialist for ACDI. Today, we're tilting the scales of print management to a win-win for everyone with our topic of PaperCut in the legal industry. Casey Cobb's my paralegal today. He's handling the question and Q&A during the presentation, so thanks for joining. And guess what? We have something very special today. We appreciate all of our attendees, and we're glad that you're enjoying these webinars. So with that, we're going to have a little fun today. Pay close attention to the webinar. At the conclusion, we're going to ask a question for your chance to win a cool prize from ACDI. For the opening remarks today, I present these items on the docket. A good 20 minutes or so of information, and then we'll open it up for questions at the end. You know, taking a real wide look at what's happening in the legal market, we find that there are many pieces of technology available. However, adoption in the small to mid-sized legal departments and firms is minimal, and that's really for a variety of reasons. This is where we're able to show off some of the extra features in PaperCut that we don't always use in a regular educational or corporate entity. There's even special licensing that we can use in a legal environment, and we'll get to all the tricks of the trade next. Client billing is at the top of the list, as law firms like to account for everything that's been done on a client case so they can recoup their charges. Everything from printing to the amount of scanning or faxing that they need to do for a client is captured effortlessly within PaperCut. Most items can be automated to make life easier for IT, administrators, and paralegals as well, with easy reporting up to and including providing details of copy, print, scan, and fax with a PaperCut-generated invoice that can be attached to the bill for their client. PaperCut will include the client tool application. It comes with it, but it's an optional component, however necessary to present account selection or messages to the end users. It's easily installed since PaperCut automatically shares the folder for the files with various methods of deployment, as we'll see in a bit, including an MSI, and you can use login scripts for the installation as well. The tool can be customized in many ways, as shown here with our rockin' ACDI logo, and cool link to our webpage that includes our motto. You can show or hide balances, run it minimized, even make it impossible for the end user to quit the program so they can't bypass PaperCut. Like most things PaperCut, it's available on Windows, Mac, and Linux platforms. As mentioned, being able to tie copies and prints to a client matter is essential for accounting in the legal vertical, so they can charge back what they've done for their client. Now, PaperCut has two kinds of accounts, personal accounts and shared accounts. Creating shared accounts is easy in PaperCut. However, many firms already have an existing digital copy of their accounts that might even exist in another system that's critical to their firm. This next section will cover shared accounts, and we'll start with how easy it is to sync with an existing data of various types. To set up sync options, you just start by selecting Accounts, Shared Account Sync, and the Shared Account Sync page is displayed. In the source, select the type of file containing the accounts you want to sync. Here I've chosen text file. Now, with a basic spreadsheet, all you need to do is simply save it as a text tab delimited file format to import into PaperCut. To see how to format the spreadsheet, check out the More Information tab inside of PaperCut. It's right there. Handy reference material when you need it at the click of a button. You don't have to exit out, go to another website, open a manual, anything else. You'll find help files like this all throughout PaperCut software. And you know, that's why IT loves it. Easy to work with, easy to set up, and easy to use. On a side note, help files for things like mobility print or archiving, which we'll see in a moment, also have the necessary downloads on that same help link. So no searching around for what you need when you work with PaperCut. With this option, you can synchronize shared accounts against a tab-delimited text file and synchronize hourly or overnight. The other source option is a file system directory scan, where you can synchronize shared accounts against a directory structure. Many organizations have a customers folder or something like that in their file system that contains one folder per customer. So their file system might contain the folders named Customers Client 1, Customers Client 2, and so on. Synchronizing against the customer's directory imports Client 1 and Client 2 as shared accounts. Then all you have to do is complete the following fields. You've got the file location, directory location. Of course, this is the location of the file or directory to sync against. This location is relative to the server. Perform allows you to set how often the account sync should take place. The available options are hourly and overnight. If new accounts are added regularly throughout the day, hourly is probably the best choice. The overnight sync occurs nightly at about 12:55 a.m., same time that we do the AD sync. Treat subdirectories as sub-accounts checkbox will treat subdirectories as sub-accounts. So for our customers example, if the directory structure is customers client 1, project 1, it will produce a top-level account called client 1, and then a sub-account of client 1 called project 1. Delete accounts that do not exist in the selected source checkbox. Again, pretty straightforward. It deletes the accounts that exist in PaperCut, but not in the sync source. A great way to clean out old accounts. But by the way, this option is not remembered for the automatic synchronization, so accounts can be deleted only by selecting this checkbox and then clicking Synchronize Now. And you know, deleting is a destructive operation, so don't forget to perform a test first. The option is right there. Of course, a backup would fall under best practice as well. When the advanced client is turned on, and we're going to cover that in a moment, and the end user logs into an MFP, they'll need to select a shared account before they can copy, scan, or fax. On the print side, the client tool needs to be installed, and that's coming up during cross-examination in just a bit. End user does their normal file print, and then they're presented with this pop-up, which allows them to search the account list by the account name or code, making it much easier to find an account when there are many on the list. The search can also be remembered for next time with a checkbox to the right. Pick from structured account list, a hierarchical list. That is, you have sub-accounts are shown indented from their parent accounts for clarity. Checkboxes to create a preferred list of accounts, so you can save the most commonly used accounts to a list. This is a useful feature when many accounts exist, but each user mostly just uses a few of them. This is per user, as all of these things in the client tool. A list of recently selected accounts saved to this list for quick selection. Comments on print jobs allows assigning a comment to a print job for future reference. Cost adjustments. This offers the ability to apply various adjustments to the cost of a print job. You can apply a percentage rate adjustment, a per job adjustment, or a per page adjustment. For example, a 200% adjustment means to charge twice the standard cost, and that could be defined for a very labor-intensive trial with a lot of preparation. Sometimes there's print jobs that you want to allocate to an account, but not include on an invoice because they're non-billable. The Advanced Account Selection pop-up has an option to allocate a non-invoiceable print job to an account simply by checking or unchecking the box. There is an important consideration when creating shared accounts that can catch you. Please pay attention to this one. Create a shared account by clicking the Accounts tab, and the Shared Accounts list page is displayed. In the Actions menu, click Create a New Account. Enter your shared account name and code if you're using that, and then click Apply. Now, here is the important Security tab. Select this tab and ensure the All Users group has access to the account. If All Users is not selected, you will not see the shared account at the copier screen or in your advanced client. Easily added by selecting it from the list and then clicking Add. This will allow this shared account to now be used by all users. As a matter of fact, this is also the area where you can manage the shared accounts and restrict access. So if you don't want all users, make sure you put a group there. Active Directory groups are the easiest way to provide permissions. There's also specific users, and they can be identified in the box below. As mentioned earlier, here's how you grant account selection access to the shared accounts for both copy and print. Click the Users tab, and the user list page is displayed. Then select the user that you want to grant access, and their user details page is displayed. In the account selection area, select the Show the Advanced Account Selection pop-up drop-down and click OK. The shared accounts will be available immediately if they log into the MFP or print something from their workstation, providing the client tool is installed. And again, PaperCut making it easy. That client tool software is available in a folder that's automatically shared on the PaperCut server. At the workstation, in the address bar, simply enter the server name or the IP address /PC client, and this will bring up the files located in the PC client share. Open up that Win folder, and then launch the pcclient.exe programming by double-clicking the file. This is called the zero deployment method. The client is launched off the server and will always be updated. Also considered as best practice for rolling out the client. There's a local installer too if a thick client is needed, and an MSI file for distribution via group policy. So as usual, everything is there ready to go with PaperCut. Mac and Linux also have clients. Their locations are indicated on this slide. Remember, PaperCut is written to work with Windows, Mac, Linux, and Novell. A quick discussion on licensing. The standard account client comes with PaperCut. However, it does not have that cool feature set we just saw of the advanced client, like search, comments, cost adjustments, preferred or recent selections too. 2 advanced clients do come with a standard PaperCut license, and you can purchase more on an ad hoc basis. In a typical law firm, though, all users need the client, and that's where the professional version of PaperCut comes in with an unlimited use of the advanced client. No need to worry if you have enough clients, as everyone can use it with the professional version. All right, let's continue our interrogation of PaperCut in the legal market with a look at integrated scanning. Integrated scanning now has expanded to a few more manufacturers with the release of PaperCut version 17.2. We now have HP and Sharp on the OSA platform, Konica Minolta, Kyocera, Ricoh SDK-J models, Sindo, Toshiba V3, and Xerox devices running EIP 3.0 and above. Looking at the amount of space that physical documents take up, it makes sense to utilize the power of the MFP as an input device to move paper electronically throughout the organization. Law firms can cut down on the need for file cabinets, or, if they need to keep paper, move documents to areas that are not as expensive as their corporate office and still have their files available to them electronically. PaperCut's integrated scanning has the most needed the touch of a button. And since they are authenticated, their home folders are available for them instantly. Probably the most common scanning operation is an email to myself capability. Best practices from a multifunction device is to scan to your own email, where you can preview the document before sending it to your recipient. PaperCut makes that easy by filling in your email address automatically, so at the push of a button, you're able to quickly send a document to yourself. Other frequent email destinations or local folder locations can also be set up quickly and easily. And with everything centrally managed in PaperCut, it's easy to customize the scanning interface, creating the right scan actions at the right device. You can also use security groups to ensure end users only see what they're supposed to see. If there's some interoperability needs, PaperCut has the capability to include metadata in the form of XML files. They travel with the document to the scanned folder or email address. There are many elements that can be added to the XML file, as shown in the help file, easily accessed with the green question mark right next to the input field. PaperCut also makes it easy to import and export data. We've seen it with text files and file directory systems. Well, we can also connect with existing business systems and data. Check out ACDI's custom integration. We have already integrated into many of these systems and many more. When you submit a quote to us, let us know what system you're integrating with, and we'll provide that right away. If a system we haven't seen yet, our developers are ready to interact with your customer and the other third party if needed to ensure the data transfer gets done right the first time. Through sample files and testing with our repeatable process, we're able to deliver the custom integration you need. While on the subject of our quote form, I also want to point out that we include necessary add-on information for you. Devices, for instance, may need kits, licenses for MEAP or jar files, card authentication, so on. This is why we inquire about the device model numbers, so we can make sure that you know what's needed on your end to complete the configuration and have a successful PaperCut implementation. Print archiving. This is another one of those features that, sometimes we forget about. Some law firms work with customers in a high security environment and need to not only know what someone has printed, but also need an image of it as well to ensure compliance. Store your images anywhere you want and have them available when needed. You can also set limits on the storage space to ensure you don't max it out. PaperCut introduced print archiving some time ago, and it's really easy to set up. The installer is available right inside PaperCut. You click on the question mark for more information. It will describe how archiving works with screenshots and a link to the installer. It installs in seconds too. PaperCut is an open system. Sysadmins with database management experience might run the system on an external database where third-party reporting tools can then be used to construct custom reports. Well, ACDI can also consult on custom report development, and with over 80 reports built in, there's a good chance the customer will be able to obtain what they need with PaperCut's built-in reporting. Now, don't forget to check out the ad hoc options. They may provide what you need for a custom report, as well as using the CSV option. Many times that provides more information than what you get in a PDF or HTML view. Finally, a reminder that new config keys were added in version 16.4 that allow you to change the parameters for scheduled reports, like the day of the month or the date for a fiscal year. Very handy, easily configured so you can match the customer's need. The schedule email reports page also displays the date on which the next report will run. So in closing, I hope you don't have any arguments with what you've seen. I guess we'll have to take it to court, huh? Well, at least we'll be able to account for everything quickly and easily with PaperCut because you know it just works. So that wraps up things for today. We'll post this webinar on the ACDI website by the start of next week. Chat is open, Q&A. Casey Cobb's been hard at work already answering those online. So we appreciate your time today, and thank you for joining. For ACDI, I'm Doc Balgi.